Some people are kind because their hearts are full of light. They help even when they are tired. They smile even when they are hurt. They give even when they have very little left for themselves. At first, people admire them. They call them generous. They call them gentle. They call them good. But slowly, if kindness has no boundary, something painful begins to happen. People stop treating it like kindness. They start treating it like weakness. They stop asking. They start demanding. They stop thinking. They start expecting. And one day the kind person realizes that while they were lighting the path for everyone else, their own life had quietly fallen into darkness. This is the story of a man who gave light to an entire village, but almost forgot to keep one lamp burning for himself. In a quiet village between two mountains lived a man named Arthur. Arthur was the village lantern keeper. Every evening, just before the sun disappeared behind the hills, Arthur walked through the narrow streets with a long wooden pole and a small container of oil. One by one, he lit the lanterns outside homes, shops, wells, and pathways. Because of him, children could return home safely. Old people could walk without fear. Shopkeepers could close their shops after sunset. Travelers could find their way through the dark roads. Everyone in the village knew Arthur, and everyone knew one thing about him. He never refused anyone. If someone asked for extra oil, Arthur gave it. If someone asked him to light a private lamp, Arthur did it. If someone called him late at night, Arthur still came. He was not rich. He was not powerful. He was only kind. And for many years, Arthur believed that kindness meant always saying yes. At first, the villagers thanked him. "May you be blessed, Arthur," they would say. "You are a good man." But as time passed, their gratitude became smaller. Then, it disappeared completely. People no longer asked him for help politely. They simply expected it. One woman would say, "Arthur, light the lamp in my courtyard too." A shopkeeper would shout, "Arthur, bring more oil. My customers need light." A farmer would say, "Arthur, come to my shed tonight. I do not want to walk in darkness." And Arthur would always answer the same way, "All right, I will do it." He thought he was keeping peace, but he did not understand that sometimes peace built on self-neglect is not peace at all. It is silent suffering. Among all the villagers, there was one man who took the most advantage of Arthur. His name was Victor. Victor owned the biggest shop in the village market. He was rich, proud, and careless with his words. Every evening when Arthur passed by his shop, Victor would call him loudly, "Arthur, light these 2 extra lanterns." Arthur would say gently, "Those lanterns are not part of the village lamps." Victor would laugh and say, "What difference does it make? You already have oil. Just do it." And Arthur would do it. The next week, Victor added 2 more lanterns, then 4, then 6. Soon half of Arthur's oil was being used outside Victor's shop, but Victor never paid for it. He never thanked Arthur. He only ordered him. One evening, Arthur came later than usual because he had been helping an old man repair a broken street lamp. Victor stood outside his shop with an angry face. "You are late," he said. Arthur lowered his head. "I am sorry. A lamp near the well was broken." Victor scoffed. "That isn't my problem. My shop should never be dark." Arthur wanted to say something. He wanted to tell Victor that the village oil was for everyone, not just for his shop. He wanted to say that he was tired. He wanted to say that he deserved respect, but the words stayed inside him. Instead, he quietly lit the lanterns. Victor smiled, not because he was grateful, but because he knew Arthur would never stand up for himself. And that is how disrespect grows. Not always with shouting, not always with cruelty. Sometimes it grows quietly, every time a person accepts what they should have refused. That night, Arthur returned home very late. His small house stood at the edge of the village. Inside, his daughter Lily was sitting near an empty lamp. The room was dark. Only a little moonlight came through the window. Arthur looked at the lamp and felt his heart sink. There was no oil left. He had given it all away. Lily looked at him with innocent eyes and asked, "Father, why is our house dark?" Arthur had no answer. She continued softly, "You light the whole village every night. Why is there no light for us?" Those words touched a place in Arthur's heart that had been silent for too long. He sat beside his daughter and looked at the empty lamp. For the first time he understood. He had not only been giving oil, he had been giving away his time, his energy, his peace, his dignity. And slowly he had taught people that his needs did not matter. That night, Arthur could not sleep. He kept hearing Lily's question, again and again. Why is there no light for us? The next morning, Arthur went to the old churchyard, where an elderly man named Old Martin often sat beneath a large oak tree. Old Martin was one of the wisest men in the village. He had lived long enough to understand people, silence, pain, and pride. Arthur sat beside him and told him everything. He spoke about the villagers. He spoke about Victor. He spoke about the oil. And finally, he spoke about Lily sitting in darkness. Old Martin listened quietly. Then he picked up a small clay lamp from beside him. It was cracked, but still beautiful. He placed it in Arthur's hands and said, "Tell me, Arthur, what does a lamp need before it can give light?" Arthur answered, "Oil." Old Martin nodded. "And what happens if the lamp gives away all its oil?" "It goes dark," Arthur said. Old Martin looked into his eyes and said, "That is what has happened to you." Arthur remained silent. Old Martin continued, "A kind person is like a lamp. He can guide others. He can bring comfort. He can make the darkness easier. But even a lamp must protect its oil." Then he said something Arthur never forgot. "If you burn yourself for people who do not value your light, they will not call you kind. They will simply look for more fire." Arthur lowered his eyes. "I do not want to become selfish," he whispered. Old Martin smiled gently. "Self-respect isn't selfishness. A boundary is not cruelty. Saying no to disrespect does not make your heart smaller. It only protects the goodness inside it." Those words stayed with Arthur. That evening, as the sky turned orange, Arthur began his walk through the village. He lit the street lamps. He lit the lamps near the well. He lit the lamps along the pathways where children and elders walked. But when he reached Victor's shop, he stopped. Victor was waiting with 6 empty lanterns outside. "You are late again," Victor said sharply. "Light these quickly. Customers will arrive soon." Arthur looked at the lanterns. Then he looked at Victor. His voice was calm. "I will light the village lamp outside your shop, but I will not use village oil for your private lanterns anymore." Victor stared at him. "What did you say?" Arthur repeated. "I will do my duty, but I will not give away what doesn't belong to you." Victor laughed angrily. "Since when did you start speaking like this?" Arthur held the oil container firmly and said, "Since I understood that kindness, without self-respect, becomes weakness." The market became quiet. A few shopkeepers turned to look. Victor's face hardened. "You are only a lantern keeper," he said. "Do not forget your place." Arthur looked at him calmly. "I have remembered my place. That is why I am no longer allowing you to push me out of it." For the first time, Victor had no quick answer. He was used to Arthur's silence. He was used to his obedience. He was used to taking without asking. But now Arthur stood there, not angry, not rude, not loud, just firm. And sometimes firmness speaks louder than anger. Victor pointed at the lanterns and said, "My shop needs light." Arthur replied, "Then you may buy your own oil. I can light them for a fair payment, but I will not sacrifice my home for your comfort." The words were simple, but they changed everything. Victor looked around. The villagers were watching. He knew that if he shouted more, he would only expose his own selfishness. So he reached into his pocket, took out some coins, and placed them on the wooden table outside his shop. "Fine," he muttered. "Light them." Arthur took only the fair amount. Then he lit the lanterns. But this time, something was different. The light outside Victor's shop did not come from Arthur's weakness. It came with respect. In the days that followed, the village slowly changed. People still came to Arthur for help, but they came differently. They asked politely. They waited for their turn. They brought their own oil for private lamps. Some even began to pay him for extra work. Not everyone liked the change. People who benefit from your silence often become uncomfortable when you finally speak. But Arthur did not return to his old ways. When he could help, he helped. When someone needed him genuinely, he showed kindness. But when someone tried to use him, he stood firm. He no longer confused being good with being available for disrespect. And every night, after lighting the village lamps, Arthur returned home with enough oil to light his own house. Lily would smile when the small lamp in their room began to glow, and Arthur would smile too, because for the first time in many years, he understood something important. A man who gives light to others must not live in darkness himself. Many people are like Arthur. They give too much. They forgive too easily. They keep saying yes because they are afraid of disappointing others. They stay silent because they do not want conflict. They call it kindness. But deep inside, they are tired. They are hurt. They are empty. Kindness is beautiful, but kindness should never cost you your dignity. Helping others is noble, but losing yourself to please others is not noble. It is painful. It is dangerous. And it slowly teaches people that your heart has no value. Remember this. People may appreciate your kindness, but they respect your boundaries. A soft heart is a gift, but a soft heart still needs a strong wall around it, because not everyone who comes near your light comes with gratitude. Some come only to take more. So be kind, but do not be careless with yourself. Be generous, but do not let people empty you. Be patient, but do not let patience become permission for disrespect. Arthur did not become cruel when he changed. He became complete. He still gave light, but he no longer gave away his self-respect. And that made his kindness stronger, not weaker. So ask yourself today, where are you giving too much? Where are you saying yes when your heart is begging you to say no? Where are you keeping everyone else's life bright while your own soul sits quietly in the dark? Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is not shout. It is not fight. No, it is not revenge. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is calmly protect your light, because kindness without self-respect is weakness. But kindness with self-respect is power. And the world begins to treat you differently the moment you stop treating yourself like you do not matter. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who always gives too much. And remember, never burn your own life away just to keep others warm.